Hi everybody, it's May 4th. I am going in for surgery tomorrow to have these big, beautiful things taken out of my head. I'm really excited about it. Surgery was delayed because of COVID-19. I'm sure everyone is familiar with that. But luckily it was only delayed a week. Initially, my doctor thought it could be delayed until June, which I was pretty bummed out about, but I'm not going to focus on that. I'm having surgery tomorrow. It's been an incredible journey these last 7 months. When I was younger, I got used to a certain appearance, until I was 14 when I was mauled by the pit bulls. Then I had to get used to a new appearance. And I felt like I had really adjusted, and I knew that what I had was what I had and it wasn't going to change, so I had just accepted it. And getting to where I am now has been just unbelievable, honestly. I know I've explained this all before, but I had been having large ulcerated areas in my skin graft. And I was seeing the wound clinic at Aspirus in Wausau. And the first time I was seen there, the wound doctor didn't really want to refer me on to plastics. And I had seen so many plastic surgeons before that had said they can't do anything. So I didn't want to get my hopes up that there could potentially be some light at the end of the tunnel when there hadn't been for so many years. So then my second round at the wound clinic, the doctor referred me to Aspirus Plastic Surgery. I was really lucky to meet Dr. Cameron, and Dr. Cameron, she took biopsies of the areas that weren't healing well, and she just stopped and looked at me, and she said, honestly, you don't have to live like this. And I just started bawling hysterically. I had not had any options for 20 years. And for her to give me hope, it was amazing, honestly. But she told me she wouldn't do my surgery. And the way she put it was really very kind. She said that if I was her relative, she would not want to do my surgery since she doesn't do this type of surgery all the time. So then it was a waiting game again, and she had reached out to a few doctors, and a few of the surgeons that she reached out to said no. It's just too much. We can't do it. But she found Dr. Samuel Poor at UW-Madison, who agreed to see me. He said he could see me, he couldn't guarantee anything. So I had evaluation with him in 2017, I think it was. And he told me that the skin expanders were probably the way to go. And I knew about the skin expansion surgery because I had it in my arm. As you can see, I have this waddly thing here in my arm, and it's not just from age, it's actually from the expander. So this area you're looking at right now was where they placed the expander. The port was up here, and then the bag was through here. And a large skin graft was removed there. So when he said skin expansion, I was like, well, I know all about that. And my senior year of high school, I joked with my classmates that I had 3 boobs because it was like having a boob in my arm. But it didn't slow me down. I still went to prom. I still did everything that you would normally do as a senior in high school. So in my mind, having skin expanders in my head wasn't going to slow me down either. And then life just delayed the surgery. And then I decided I was ready and I was going to reschedule surgery. And that's how I met Dr. Catherine Garland. Dr. Garland is a reconstructive surgeon, and she deals mostly with face and head reconstruction. She's amazing, honestly. The first time I met her, she just has such a welcoming presence, and she's very positive and upbeat, and I felt very comfortable with her. And when I had my pre-op visit, my oldest son, Marshall, met her, and she told Marshall that I was going to have the coolest Halloween costume. And he felt so much better about this surgery because he worries about his mom, and it was really reassuring for him. So then in October, 15th actually, so it's kind of funny, the 15th and the 5th, I had the skin expanders placed. Basically what Dr. Garland did was she cut into my existing scars and kind of like stuffed these bags under my scalp. And then we let this heal back up. Once that healed back up, then we started injecting fluid. And I don't know if you can see it. I got a lot of hair now, but I have this port that actually a needle is injected into, and then saline fills these bags that I have underneath my skin. I know a lot of people have had questions about skin expansion, and that's the best way I can explain it. Like, in high school, I had a boob in my arm. Now I have 2 boobs in my head that are look like boomerangs. So, once things healed, I went back to work, and I was working. I was doing pretty well with working, but then it started to get pretty painful when the stretching first started. And the pain initially was in just in these areas that the expander is in. I had pain down into my face quite a bit too with the muscle stretching, but I was able to tolerate it until about January. I wasn't able to work anymore. Then I decided I was just going to pump these expanders up until they couldn't expand anymore. Along the way, I had a great deal of pain, as you can imagine, because of, sorry, I'm getting a little shaky here, because of the muscle loss that I have in my head. I've had some chronic pain in my neck, and I went through physical therapy, and I went to see a chiropractor. They all were so wonderful. I had my first ever massage of my life, which was really nice. And the chiropractor that I was seeing was, I mean, everyone that I've met through this journey has been incredible, absolutely incredible. And I used to work at a pain clinic. So once the pain started to get pretty intense, I decided I was going to go back to the pain clinic and have some shots into my muscles and into my face, which helped a lot, helped me get through. I've lost quite a few people to the opioid epidemic, so I really try to stay away from narcotic pain medications as much as I can. So doing all these other things helped me get to where I wanted to be. As far as pain control, still couldn't do a lot, which was hard. I'm a single mom with 3 kids, so my kids are wonderful. They've been so understanding. My twins just turned 6, and my son, my oldest, is going to be 12 in June. This has been really trying for them too. They're so sweet. They always tell me that my head isn't as big as I think it is, but of course I know it is that big. they're just, kids are so loving and just accepting of whatever comes their way. So I've been very blessed with that. I'm so excited to get back into life though and be able to play with my kids and take them for walks and go for bike rides, because I haven't been able to do any of those things for the last 7 months. I think that's probably been the hardest for me, because I'm a pretty active mom and like to spend a lot of time playing and things with my kids, and it's very limited right now. But we made it through, and I'm really excited for the outcome. So then January I stopped working, and then I started going to physical therapy and doing all the things I just mentioned. And then COVID-19 happened. My surgery had been scheduled in April, and I was so looking forward to getting these things out of my head because they are ginormous, and it is like having a migraine every day, all day. So once the pandemic of COVID-19 happened, I, of course, had my surgery canceled, or delayed, however you want to look at it. My surgeon, I was able to meet with her, and we had a virtual visit, basically a phone, FaceTime visit with her. And she said, let's just pump the bags up as much as we can. So they're larger than they initially were going to be, which hopefully will give us more coverage. But when I talked to her, she told me that that's when I heard surgery could potentially be in June. I was devastated. It took me a few days to kind of get my bearings back. I was just really not looking forward to having that. And then a week ago, I got a call from her scheduler, and the scheduler said that I could have surgery on May 5th. I started bawling. I was so excited. I can't wait to get to the next step of this journey. With the COVID restrictions, I have to be here alone. So this is the first surgery that I'm doing solo. But I think that I'll be okay. I know that I'm going to be in really good hands with all the medical team that I have, and I just feel like things are going to go well. So that has been my journey to this point. I know I'm going to have different difficulties after tomorrow, but in the end, it's totally going to be worth it. And I'm going to have to readjust to another image of myself. I guess that's been one of the hardest things mentally for me through this entire process, is getting used to how you look and then it changing week by week by week. And now after tomorrow, I'm gonna look different again. And I mean, I know it's just a physical change, but I feel like there's been so many things in my life that I've kind of held off on, or been fearful of, because I'm always very conscious of bumping my head. I'm so conscious of any sunburns on my head. I've really, my life has been kind of revolved around my head, in the things that I can and can't do. And it's going to take some time to get used to not having to think about that. And it's going to take some time to get used to another image of myself. I know in my heart it's, of course you don't change as a person, but yeah, it's been difficult. adjusting. Anyway, I'm just ranting at this point. I just wanted to show you my big giant head for the last time, because tomorrow it will be much different. So as always, thank you all for your support. I really appreciate everything that everyone has done with my GoFundMe, and all the support that I've gotten through my community and my family and friends. I am truly a blessed person. So thank you all, and God bless.